It's a crazy life. I'm in Philly, driving home to the Poconos. I was with, oh God, so many motivated people and so many inspiring people. So many entrepreneurs. There were millionaires in the room. This is a crazy life. This is a crazy life. I have been fortunate enough to meet up with all of these people, have a day like today in Philly, learn so much, and I've been fortunate enough myself to be the top 3%. What's up, dog? Jeff. I've been fortunate enough myself to hit the top 3% of my company, and semi-retired at 45 last year, and this life is crazy. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. I get to enjoy life. I get to have fun. I'm not at a 9-to-5 job working 40 hours a week. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. If somebody would have told me 6 years ago that I would be semi-retired at 45, I'd be home with my 3-year-old girl, I'd be home during the week 50% of the time, you know, like it's summertime now with the kids, my 13-year-old, 15-year-old, I would have said you're crazy. I was working 50 hours a week back then at my job, and I thought I was going to be there forever. I mean, 45 years old. See, I started my home-based business when I was 40, and I would have thought, okay, work until 65, retire at 65, 25 more years. Semi-retired at 45 last year. And the way things are going, full retirement in the next couple of years. And it's amazing. I just, one day at 40, boom, I decided to get off my butt and make a change in my life that has changed my life in 2 years. So 4 years ago, when I was 42, I hit the top 3% of my company. And for 4 years now, all I do is teach people how to do what I've already done. I've already done it. I've already followed the system. I've already gotten to the top 3% of the company. And now I just teach others how to do the same thing and how to earn that residual income. That's why I started calling myself the residual hustler, because I hustle for the residual income. I've got it in my home-based business. I've got it in Amazon with the 3 different ways I make money with Amazon, with reselling product, with selling, creating and selling apparel, and now with books. I just created my second coloring book, which was published earlier this week. So every time that sells, I get royalties from that. So I'm not stuck in a cubicle. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. If that's where you are and that's where you want to be and you love what you do and that's what you want to do until the day you die, then that's cool. You know, there's nothing wrong with that for you. But for me, that's not me. I've got to be out. I've got to be about. I got to meet people. I can't be stuck in one place or I go crazy. And listen, if I really, I mean, I work in my family's business now, so there's flexibility. But I tell you what, if our family business closed up tomorrow and I ended up, for some reason, having to go out to get a job, I would be fired in my first week because I consider myself unemployable. I could not work for somebody else because I can't stand having somebody tell me what to do, and I can't stand just somebody in my face saying do this, do this, do this, do this. I'd go crazy. I'd be fired in a week. Maybe fired the first day. But my business now that I have, my home business, I'm just coming back from a from the event in Philly, and I made a post where I put up a bunch of pictures of myself with a bunch of friends of mine at the event, and I didn't even leave Philly yet, and I had 3 people contact me, not even out of Philly yet, from that post, wanting more information and wanting to see if I could help them. You know, I never post about my company. I never post anything about the company because there's so much information to know. If you were to Google it, you wouldn't know what you're looking at. You wouldn't understand it. So that's where I come into play, where I educate you. And I teach people how to do what I've already done. Like I said, I've been blessed enough to hit the top 3% of my company. And now I teach people how to do the same. And I have a little challenge for myself that I want to put out there to anybody listening to this, that when you become part of my team, what I want to do is I want to help you get the money that you need to pay for your rent or your mortgage. Right now it's June 20-something, and I want to help somebody make enough residual income monthly on my team that by the end of this year, by December 31st, 2018, that residual income is paying your rent or mortgage. That's a little challenge that I have for myself, and I'm looking for 1, maybe 2 people that I can work with this hard that want to have this happen for them. If you think that's you, hit me up, let me know. I know that 99% of people will ignore this challenge because 99% of people are afraid to work, and they're afraid to work like I do. And that's where I am today, is from my work ethic, where for the longest time, I would work during the day in the family business, but then when I got home, I'd be working on my business. And that has allowed me to semi-retire at the age of 45. Now, what do I mean by semi-retire? I semi-retire from my family's business. I no longer work a 9-to-5 job since last year. Since September of 2017, I no longer work full-time a 9-to-5 job. I work 3 days a week in the family business, so that's very part-time. And then I have my side hustles, that I call them. It's another reason why I have written down Residual Hustler on my shirt, residualhustler.com. Stuff I do at Amazon with the books and with the apparel, and with reselling. It's all stuff I've learned on my own, a lot of it on my own. But one of the reasons why I went those directions is because I was hanging around with people that were doing things like that. I had my lineup of friends before 6 years ago. Those line of friends, I don't hang out with them anymore. I can't. I love them to death, and I would do anything for them, but I'm not going to be hanging out with them because I can't be the smartest one in the room. Out of my 5 closest friends, I cannot be the smartest one. I've got to learn from those people. And, you are the result of your 5 closest friends. My 5 closest friends, 3 of them are millionaires. The 4th one is on his way, and guess who the 5th one's going to be? If your 5 closest friends, all right, if they are all millionaires, chances are you, as the 6th friend, are going to be a millionaire also. How does that happen? You hang around these people. You learn their mentality. You learn what they do, and pretty soon you start to mimic what you do. Okay, it's these people that I learn from that are part of my team, my mentors, that I see weekly and I talk to all the time. Say, what are you doing? Well, I'm reading books. Awesome. What book are you reading? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So guess what book I read? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Right now I'm reading another book that is going to teach me about my marketing and how to market and grow my business through social media marketing, and reading books, and now I'm writing some, and I've got some journals and whatnot that I publish on Amazon. And 6 years later, I'm at the top 3% of my company. I published 2 coloring books, something I never thought I would do. I have 51 other types of books that I published on Amazon. And one of those books, what's today, Saturday? Monday or Tuesday, one of those books that I published was sold in Europe through Amazon. I never would have thought those words would have ever have come out of my mouth. Me in Pennsylvania selling a book through an online website to somebody in Europe that I have never met, and I probably will never met. Now, how did that all come about? Because 6 years ago, when I joined my company, I started to change myself because of the people who I was hanging out with. I stopped doing a lot of things. I started, hanging out on weekends. While my friends were hanging out at weekends, hanging out at bars or doing whatnot, I was building a business. And in 2 years, from age 40 to 42, almost 43, I reached the top 3% of my company. And I started to hang around, the higher I got in my company, the more I was hanging out with top leaders and top income earners. And learning what they do. Learning what they do with their money, when they get their money. Say they've got, $1,000 bonus for something. What do they do with that $1,000 bonus? What are they doing with it? Are they taking it and buying, 2 pairs of Jordans? No, they're not doing that. That's not going to earn you any money. Okay, it's not going to earn you any money. I took money 2 years ago that I started earning with my home-based business, and I started a Amazon business. And for 2 years, I would buy product as inventory, and I would resell it and sell it on Amazon and earn a profit. At one time, I had 1,000 items in my Amazon store, and I was doing, pretty good, about $1,500, $2,000 a month in sales. And I got tired of the sourcing and having, 100 items on my dining room table. So I started to figure out, all right, how can I make the same money and more with less product? So then I started to I'd start talking to other friends of mine, and a friend of mine in my business was private labeling bathtub accessories. Okay, when you're taking a bath here and you've got that shelf that goes across the tub, where you've got a book on there, maybe a candle and that kind of stuff on there. I don't know what it's called, but he showed me his Amazon seller app, and it was at $70,000 for 1 month. And I said, that's it. That's what I gotta get in on. I gotta get it on private label. So I had a private label product, and I'm giving you a bit of a story here. I had a private label product that I found locally. It took me about a month to find it after I saw this, and it was the dishwasher magnets. And somebody local in my area, a guy in his basement with a machine, was manufacturing them and selling them on eBay for, I think it was $7. So I bought 5 or 6 at the regular price from him because he lives close to me, and put them on Amazon, put them up for $15.99, and all 6 that I had sold in about a 2-week time frame. So then I was like, okay, all right, so there's something here. I experimented with those 5 or 6 or so that I bought, put them on Amazon, and they sold. So what did I do? I contacted the guy and I said, listen, if I buy 50 magnets from you, then what's my cost? So he charged me $4 each. So I bought 50 magnets at $4 each. I sent them into Amazon, selling them for $15.99 each, and the rest was my profit. So every time I would get sales and Amazon would send me money every 2 weeks, I would take that money and buy more magnets and buy more magnets and buy more magnets. I got up to about $1,400 a month in sales from a $15 magnet. And that took maybe like 3 months or so. From a little stupid $15 dishwasher magnet that said clean on one side and dirty on the other. I took that product, and I was the only one on Amazon selling that product. And there was a guy in Bethlehem making the product. And he was not an Amazon seller. He didn't know how to do it, maybe didn't want to do it, or whatnot, but he knew I was selling them on Amazon. So after about 6 months of me doing well and selling roughly $1,500 a month of $16 magnets, my supplier, the manufacturer guy who was making them for me, decided to stop selling them to me, and now he sells them on Amazon. I was doing so well, he cut me off, and now he sells them on Amazon himself. And he's selling them for like $12. He should have kept at least that $15.99 price point, because people were buying them. I was selling them like crazy. $1,500 a month for one little dishwasher magnet. But he decided to cut me off. So at that point, I said to myself, all right, I've got to come up with a product. Now keep in mind, the reason I'm telling you this story is because the people I was hanging around with, I was telling this to. I was telling them my story, what I was doing, and everything. And I said, man, I just lost $1,500 a month in income because this guy I was buying them from, who makes them, decided I'm going to cut off Tom and I'm going to sell them myself. And they said, well, Tom, you know what you got to do then? You have to come up with your own product that would be a royal pain in the ass for somebody else to create and duplicate. And then you can corner the market. So I was like, all right. So I started to do some research. And I went on Amazon. And I found some things that were selling very well. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say what it is because it's my private label product that I make, manufacture, and sell today. But if for anybody who follows me on Facebook, you've seen pictures of these boxes. That's what it is. So the ingredients I put in this box that I sell for $49.99 on Amazon, I get from four different sources. 3 different stores, and then an online company that makes my packaging for me. And in order for you to duplicate what I do, it would take you so much time and money that you probably wouldn't do it. So that's why me telling you this now really doesn't bother me, because like I said before, 99% of people will listen to the information, but they'll never do anything with it. And I started selling these items, just one item, and from this one item, I'm up to $1,500 a month in a couple months from that. So this one item has already helped me to make up the money I was losing from the magnets from before. So, and the profit margin is much higher now with this new product. So my next goal is to ramp up this new private label product on Amazon from 0, where I started a couple months ago, to $4,000 a month is where I want to be with this product. That's my goal in the next, by December, and it'll happen. And then I want to have 5 products total that are going to be bringing me in $4,000 a month with 5 products. Okay, so what's that? 5 times 5, it's $20,000 a month with just 5 products at Amazon. I was doing 1,500 hours, or I'm sorry, I was doing $2,000 a month before I was doing my private label stuff. $2,000 a month on Amazon, and I had 1,000 items in my Amazon store, doing $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year. That sounds like a lot of money, and for many people it is, but I had 1,000 items in my Amazon store to make that happen. My point is, I didn't have the quality of product. I had the quantity. I had a boatload of stuff in Amazon's warehouses all throughout the country, but they were not quality products. So I had to. I went back to my friends, my circle of friends again, and one of these friends is a friend of mine that I've actually never met, but we talk a lot through Facebook or not. Who lives in Virginia? Who is somebody who's done 35,000 plus a month on Amazon, and he said you've got to get a better quality of product, and something that people need. You know, I'll give you a little hint: household items, household goods, things like that, grocery, food. Everybody knows we've got Wawa here in the Northeast, but Wawa is not everywhere around the States. So here's a hint: you take some Wawa product, you take a Wawa coffee, a coffee packet that you get, you pair that up with a Wawa mug, sell it as a bundle on Amazon. You're gonna have people on the West Coast that love Wawa but can't get it anymore buying these products from you on Amazon. That's an example. Bundling is where the money is for Amazon. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, on a different direction, but bundling on Amazon is where you can make a lot of money. You take complementary products and you bundle them together. Okay, could be anything household related. Different stuff like that. Maybe you take 3 different coloring books, add a packet of crayons to it, put it in a bag, create a bundle, and sell that. Different books, different things like that do very well on Amazon, bundling. So I got into bundling, and then bundling led to me doing private label, to where now I'm strictly doing mostly private label, because my bundles I've created into private label products, and they sell. You're putting like things together, complementary things together, to sell on Amazon or eBay, or whatever the two are, and you're creating something that nobody else has. Maybe you can find one product from Walmart and one product from Target that are not sold at each store, and put those 2 items together, and you've created a bundle. It could be, a candle from Walmart and something else fragrance related from Target. Put those together, now you've created a new bundle that somebody would have to go through hell and high water to try to duplicate. So this life is crazy. I mean, there are so many ways to make extra money. And like I said before, coming home from this event now in Philly, heading home, it's just crazy. I mean, there's so many ways. I mean, I see so many people on Facebook that want a better life, and they want more out of life, but they don't do anything about it. They just don't. I call them not pathological. They're chronic complainers. They're literally chronic complainers. They complain all the time. I see people all the time. I just lost my job. What am I going to do? Well, did you have a plan before you lost your job in case you lost your job? And 90% of people don't have a plan. I didn't have a plan. For 40 years, I didn't have a plan. And then I found a plan, and I worked the plan. And now that plan has created a life for me where at the age of 45, I'm home with my 3-year-old. if you're somebody that wants more out of life, if you're somebody that, oh, it just broke. If you're somebody that wants more, if you're somebody that is looking for, maybe you're in a situation where you've got a lot of debt, you've got to get out of the debt, you're not sure how you're going to get out of the debt, I can help you. I've done it. Top 3% of my company, and that's what I do. So if that's you, if you're looking for something extra, even if it's $200 a month or $1,000 a month or whatever it is, just, I'm here to help. I can help. I've done it. You would learn from somebody who's been through the process and from somebody like myself who's actually done it and hit the top 3%, and now I teach others to do the same. So I don't want to sit here and hold this phone while I'm driving anymore because my clip just broke. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See ya.